All right, I'm just going to start it here. So to whoever I'm picking up on, the message that are coming through with this Eight of Pentacles and this Queen of Pentacles is waiting and working and waiting and working and working and waiting. Like somebody is like waiting for something. And in the meantime, you are working at something. So this could be finances. Like you're working, waiting for that big payoff, waiting for like your that money to come in or something, waiting for something to stabilize. If this is relationship, it's like you might be busy like doing something in a routine, in a consistent like methodical kind of like process, and you're waiting for what you love to come to you, or waiting for that love offer or something like that. I mean, if it's about healing, it's like you're doing all the things, waiting for the healing to come. Some of you guys are working, studying, consistently doing something, consistently grinding, and kind of waiting for the happy ending. Even though I can tell that some of you guys fear the thing that you're waiting for won't come, you are still waiting or have been waiting. For some of you guys, you've been waiting for at least a year, maybe longer, for something to shake in a certain department of your life, a certain area of your life. All right. Some of you guys are fooling yourself to think that like it's not coming. Some of you guys are really like doubting, maybe worrying. That is the thing that you're hoping for, the thing that will make your heart sing. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's not coming. Some of you guys are legitimately like privately like fearing that happy ending, whatever that is just is not gonna come. Even though, God, you got the Emperor and the King of Wands. It's yours to have, but you still may be overcoming some old emotions, okay? But in the meantime, waiting and working. Oh my gosh. Like the amount of consistency that some of you guys have created. And sometimes consistency is a good thing. It's like, oh, you're disciplined. But sometimes consistency is like, oh, you are doing the same thing over and over. Boring, like stagnant. Sometimes it's that. And so only you know what your story looks like. What you're doing in your story. Clarification for the Eight of Pentacles. One card for the Eight of Pentacles. What is this consistency? For some of you guys, you're studying. The Eight of Pentacles can be an apprenticeship card. It could be studying. Studying something consistently, routinely, repetitiously. But it could be, this could also be routine, like I said. The same old schedule over and over again. Page of Swords jumped out. It's almost as if like, it's almost as if you need you received this is past, so you received a new perspective on something, or some type of new outlook on something, or a new offer in the midst of whatever this routine is. Let me get a few more cards so I can see a little bit more. Clarification for what is the right now energy? Present energy for the collective. This Page of Swords is looking in the opposite direction of this person who is working now, so that feels really important. Almost like something was trying to take your attention away from the work that you were doing, or something was trying to distract you. It might not have been a negative distraction, but it's like this one person is working in that direction, doing the same thing, repeating a pattern in a routine, and then the Page of Swords is looking in the opposite direction, kind of ready to like start looking somewhere else or start seeing something differently. The Hermit mode. Some of you guys are in a healing. You're in a healing space right now. You're healing. You're healing. And maybe that's why you're doing this repetitious thing. Maybe you're creating a healing routine, or maybe you're creating some type of routine that stabilizes your finances, which is healing your finances. Maybe you're balancing something out right now, and you've been working on this for some time. You've been trying to get back to balance for some time. Future energy. But we do have the Hermit coming up in your right now energy. For some of you guys, a Virgo is very important to your story, and that's why this Hermit is coming out. Five of Swords. Your future energy is Five of Swords. It's like you're changing directions. You're changing the storyline. You're changing your perspective. There's conflict here. There's conflict either internally that you're going to be coming up and dealing with, or there's conflict with others that you're going to be dealing with. Maybe because of this change of direction. Advice. What's the advice card? Waiting and working and waiting and working. For some of you guys, you were working on something before and you made a decision to change your perspective, your outlook on something. You also may have gotten an offer. Some of you guys have been working on something pretty consistently because you were wanting to open up an opportunity for yourself, maybe an income stream, or maybe something dealing with your health, or your family, something of that nature, family legacy. Generational wealth is for some of you guys. You've been working on something, and you received an offer. You received a break in the story. Yep, Ace of Pentacles. All right, so lots of Pentacles energy here, lots of Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For some of you guys are focused on your money. You're focused on the bag. You're focused on your stuff, your property. You're focused on building family legacy, etc. Some of you guys are focused on your health as well with this Hermit card. I can't ignore this Hermit that is sitting there in the middle of this. Some of you guys are focused on your health. All right, and so let me just say that some of you guys realized something, and now you started a new health journey, something that feels, or a new routine that feels healthy. Okay, but there's conflict here, and there are no cups here, which it always makes me cringe a little bit when there are no cups, because it's like there's no like ease and flow and like this routine. It's like very rigid, very cross all the I's, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, like. Something about the way that you're moving feels very like stiff or very like just strict. And again, that does not necessarily have to be a negative thing, but when there's no balance between ease and flow and strict and structured, it does become rigid. It gives a rigid energy, all right? The World card. For some of you guys, there's the ending of some type of new love or some type of new thing that you were emotionally connected to. Something ended. Maybe it ended abruptly too with the Ten of Swords. And so now you're like, oh, I'm just going to focus on, it's almost like if I can't have love, I'm going to focus on work or something like that. Or my heart is under construction, so I'm going to focus on work. Or I'm going to focus on something else, myself, my goals, something like that. Somebody's in that kind of energy. And it doesn't have to necessarily be relationship-wise, but there's something that your heart was hoping for or maybe wishing towards, and I guess that ended abruptly, or that dream kind of chapter kind of closed, and now I can feel that somebody's like, okay, I'm just going to throw myself into my school, my studies, my work, my routine, something like that, to have some semblance of control. Some semblance of control. Clarification for the Five of Swords. Why is this Five of Swords here? Five of Swords. Why is this Five of Swords here? There's conflict coming quickly. For some of you guys, oof, I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels so, everything feels so militant, so sharp. And granted, you might have focus now. Like you might be in a place where you have a complete focus on what it is you're wanting to work on. And that is a good thing. However, there's not enough balance in whatever you're doing. There's not enough balance. Ace of Pentacles is your advice card. And the Ace of Pentacles is always you planting something that will be stable, that will be lucrative, that will be long-term, something dependable. And so that's a good thing. There are good things happening here, and there is this intense like tunnel vision energy as well, which again does not necessarily feel like a good thing. However, I would love to see a little bit more balance here as well. All right, let me read your advice card so we can kind of get a little bit more clarity on sort of how to wrap this reading up. I will say this before I read your advice card. You're coming into next week or next month or soon, you are going to be coming into a bit of a conflict where you're going to need to make a quick decision and maybe get out of that situation or figure out how to pivot really quickly. You have exactly what you need to know exactly what to do with the King of Swords. So just make the smart decision, make the logical decision. Whatever decision that is, don't make it with your heart, make it with your mind, okay? Your advice card is Diana. Focused intention. She says, keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. Tenacity means sticking to a decision and not allowing outside forces to sway you. Imagine yourself to be like a mighty oak tree with your roots deeply planted into Mother Earth. Feel your solid strength and steady upward growth. Know that no matter what happens, you will succeed. Your branches may twist and turn as you flex toward the light, yet your unwavering intentions will ensure that no faint wind will sway you from your mission. Be in charge of your body, your schedule, and your mind, and keep them focused upon your target, which you are. Other meanings for this card: stay positive. Know what your priorities are and take action on them. Take control of your schedule. Release all doubts. I think that is what you're coming up against. You're coming up against some situation that feels like it's going to trigger some doubts. Avoid naysayers and skeptics. I think you're coming into that, and you're going to need to be very clear to eliminate those naysayers and doubts so that they don't thwart whatever plan you are working consistently towards. Alrighty, peace, guys.